Welcome, my fellow night thinkers. This is Sleepywise, a cozy corner of the internet where restless thoughts slow down and the quiet mysteries of everyday life unravel at their own pace. I know you've had a long day and you deserve a moment of stillness now. Just allow your eyes to grow heavy and let yourself settle into the gentle rhythm of the night. The world you stepped away from moves so quickly, doesn't it? But here, time arranges itself differently. Here, we can notice things that slip past in the rush of daylight. Tonight, I thought we could rest inside a single moment, the moment just after rain has stopped. You've felt it before. You know this air. It arrives when you step outside and the drops have just ended, when the sky is still low and grey, but the drumming on rooftops has gone silent. The ground is darker, the leaves hang heavy, and the air feels different against your skin, cool and thick and strangely alive. There's a smell rising from the earth that seems both new and impossibly old, like something remembered from childhood, or from even longer ago than that. You don't have to name it yet. Just notice how familiar it feels. This scent doesn't arrive all at once. It rises slowly, from the sidewalk still dark with water, from the garden soil, from the forest floor miles away, from every small forgotten patch of earth touched by rain. And somehow your body recognizes it immediately, the way you might recognize a voice you haven't heard in years. There's a reason for that recognition, and it's written into you at a level deeper than memory. When rain falls on dry ground, something ancient begins to happen. During the days or weeks without water, plants have been quietly releasing oils, not to their leaves or flowers, but into the soil itself. These oils settle into the earth like a kind of insurance, a chemical patience. They wait there, accumulating until water comes. And when the first drops finally arrive, they don't wash these oils away. Something more interesting happens. The oils rise. Water has this way of coaxing things into the air that normally rest in stillness. Each raindrop that strikes the ground creates a tiny splash, and within that splash, smaller droplets form. Droplets so fine they hang suspended, carrying with them traces of oil, traces of soil, traces of time. These mist into the air as aerosols, lighter than they should be, drifting up to where you can breathe them in. But the oils are only part of the story. Deep in the soil, deeper than plant roots, deeper than yesterday's rain ever reached, there are bacteria. They've been there longer than forests, longer than grass. Some of them have been doing the same work for hundreds of millions of years, breaking down organic matter, recycling what was once alive back into what might live again. These bacteria produce a compound as they work. It's called Geosmin. And it smells like earth itself, like wet stone, like the floor of an old forest. Geosmin is so potent that human beings can detect it at concentrations almost impossible to measure, parts per trillion. Your nose is tuned to it, the way a hawk's eye is tuned to movement. This sensitivity likely evolved long ago, when following the smell of rain and wet earth meant finding water, finding life. So when you breathe after rain, you're breathing the signature of ancient bacterial life, rising. You're breathing the oils that plants released in preparation for this exact moment. You're breathing the story of water returning to dry places. And your body understands all of this without translation, without thought. The scent was already there, you see. Waiting. During all those dry days, the earth was preparing something through the quiet chemistry that happens when living things meet stone and air and time. The compounds are volatile, which means they want to evaporate, want to rise into air and disperse. But without water, without moisture to help them move, they remain caught, bound to dust, held in the tiny spaces between soil grains. The earth becomes a reservoir of scent that no one can smell yet. It's interesting to notice how this mirrors something in your own experience, isn't it? How often do you carry things that are waiting to be released? Thoughts you haven't spoken, feelings held in your chest, tensions gathered in your shoulders. Sometimes we need the right condition, the right moment of softening, before what's been held can finally move. The rain is that condition for the earth. When the first drops begin to fall, they don't wash the scent away, they liberate it. The rain, when it comes, doesn't create the scent. It simply changes the pressure, fills the spaces, pushes the trapped air upward and outward. The geosmin rises with it, released from its underground, waiting into the open air where finally you can detect it. There's something almost tender about this when you let yourself feel it. The way the earth holds onto these fragrances through all the dry waiting. The way rain acts not as creator, but as key, unlocking what was already present, already prepared, already there. You are lying here in your own kind of waiting, aren't you? The transition between the doing of the day and the letting go of sleep. You can't force this shift any more than the earth can force rain to fall. You can only be ready. Only hold what needs to be held until the right conditions arrive and allow the release to happen naturally. There's a particular kind of tiredness that comes from moving through the surface of things all day, isn't there? You can feel it in your shoulders, in the back of your neck, in the way your thoughts still circle even though you've stopped moving. But here, you can let that surface motion settle. Your weight can sink fully into whatever holds you. Because I thought we could leave the surface behind entirely. We could descend into a realm that operates by different rules, different rhythms, a different kind of time altogether. We're going down into the soil. Just beneath the ground you walk on every day, there exists a world so densely alive, so quietly persistent, that it makes the busiest human city seem almost empty by comparison. This is life at a scale that slips between your fingers when you try to touch it. Life that has been here far longer than anything with eyes or bones or the ability to think about its own existence. When you hold a handful of earth in your palm, you are holding millions upon millions of living beings. Bacteria mostly. Organisms so small that thousands of them could rest on the period at the end of this sentence. And yet they are exquisitely adapted, refined by time into forms that work with an efficiency we can barely comprehend. Among them are bacteria called Streptomyces, the ones responsible for that scent you recognize as Earth itself. 400 million years of existence, moving through the same patient cycles, doing the same essential work. They grow as branching threads, spreading through the tiny spaces between particles of sand and clay and decomposed matter, seeking out anything that was once alive and is ready to be transformed. A fallen leaf, a dead root, a beetle that didn't survive the winter. The bacteria find these remnants and begin the slow work of taking them apart, breaking complex organic molecules back down into simpler forms. Carbon dioxide, mineral nutrients, elements that can be used again. Nothing in nature is wasted, and these bacteria are among the primary agents of that recycling, turning death back into possibility. And in the process, for reasons that still aren't entirely clear, they produce geosmin. There are various theories. Perhaps it's a signal to other soil organisms. Perhaps it attracts tiny soil arthropods that help disperse the bacterial spores. Perhaps it's simply a byproduct. The uncertainty remains. And there's something rather beautiful about that, isn't there? That even with all our tools and knowledge, we still don't fully understand why these ancient bacteria produce the very smell that means earth to us. The bacteria themselves move through time differently than you do. While you rush through your morning, a bacterium is just beginning the slow process of replication. While you sleep through the night, it's still working on the same patient transformation it started before sunset. There's no hurry in their world, no deadlines. Just the steady continuation of processes that have been unfolding since before mammals existed. And they're not alone down there. The soil is threaded through with fungal filaments finer than spider silk, spreading in networks that can stretch for miles. These fungi form partnerships with plant roots, trading nutrients for sugars, creating connections between different plants that let them share resources. Some trees, connected through fungal networks, can send chemical warnings to each other about insect attacks or drought. The soil beneath a forest is not a collection of isolated individuals, but a web of mutual support mediated by organisms you cannot see. Your own body carries echoes of these deep, patient rhythms. The cells in your gut that help you digest food, that produce vitamins you need, that protect you from harmful bacteria, many of them are ancient lineages related to the soil bacteria outside your window. The same basic chemistry, the same fundamental processes. You are never separate from this microbial world. You are part of it, shaped by it, dependent on it in ways so fundamental you rarely pause to consider them. The very atoms in your body have passed through countless bacteria over the billions of years since life began. And when you smell earth after rain, when that scent rises and reaches you, you're receiving a message from that hidden world. Not a message meant for you specifically. The bacteria aren't thinking of you when they produce geosmin. But a message nonetheless. A trace of presence from beings that usually stay silent, that live their entire existence in darkness, that move through time at a pace that makes your heartbeat seem frantic. And there's a strange comfort in that, isn't it? In knowing that beneath all the surface urgency, beneath all the human rush and worry and striving, there is this deep, slow, patient system that simply continues, unbothered. unhurried, operating on a timescale that makes your longest concerns feel brief. You can rest into that knowing. Your breathing can slow to match the pace of processes that unfold over days and weeks rather than seconds. Your thoughts can settle like spores drifting down through soil layers, finding dark places to rest, to wait, to simply be without needing to do anything at all. Just rest. The earth beneath you knows how. You've been moving all day, haven't you? That kind of sustained effort leaves a residue, not just tiredness, but a deeper kind of depletion, like soil after weeks without rain. You can feel it where you finally stopped. The heaviness, the dryness in your thinking. I thought we could rest inside a rhythm that's older than seasons, older than weather patterns, older than almost anything that grows on land. The rhythm of dryness and rain. When weeks pass without water, when the soil dries and cracks, we think of this as hardship. But for many organisms, particularly the microscopic ones that inhabit soil, dryness isn't disaster. It's simply one half of a cycle they've been moving through for hundreds of millions of years. They know how to wait. When moisture begins to leave the soil, the bacteria and fungi that live there begin to change. Not die. Change. They slow their metabolism down to nearly nothing. Some form spores, protective capsules that can endure conditions no active organism could survive. Others simply stop dividing, stop growing, stop almost everything, and enter a state that sits somewhere between living and not living. They become dormant. And in that dormancy, time passes differently. A day means nothing to a bacterial spore. A week, a month, even years. The spore is not experiencing duration the way you experience it. It has simply paused, existence without experience, life without consciousness of life. There are plants called resurrection plants that take dormancy even further. When water becomes scarce, they curl up, turn brown, appear completely dead. Their cells lose up to 95% of their water content. They can remain like this for years. But when rain finally comes, within hours, they begin to uncurl. Their color returns. Their cells rehydrate. They quite literally come back to life, though they were never entirely dead, just waiting in a way that looked like ending. Your own body knows something about this. Sleep itself is a form of dormancy, isn't it? A daily cycle of slowing down, reducing consciousness, entering a state where time passes differently. You do this every night because you must. Your cells need the pause. Your nervous system needs the restoration. The organisms in dry soil don't push through. They honor the cycle. When conditions aren't right for active life, they don't pretend otherwise. They enter dormancy without resistance, without judgment, without treating the pause as failure. And when rain finally comes, it arrives not as disruption, but as permission. Permission to resume, to open, to become active again. But this doesn't happen instantly. Even awakening has its own patience. The organisms don't rush from dormancy to full activity. They ease into it, gradual, testing. You can feel the permission in that, can't you? That you don't have to spring from this rest into full activity. That awakening, when it comes, can be gradual. Right here, you're in your own kind of dormancy. You've stopped the day's activity. Your breathing has slowed. Your thoughts are beginning to drift into patterns that resemble dreaming more than waking logic. You're in the threshold state, the pause between, the place where active life softens into something quieter. And this is not a problem to solve. This is simply the other half of a cycle that every living thing moves through. Activity and rest, waking and dormancy, each half necessary, each half shaping the other. So you can be dormant. Your cells can slip into their restorative processes. Your consciousness can recede into the deeper patterns that don't require your attention. You can wait in the darkness the way spores wait in soil, neither anxious nor impatient, simply suspended in the trust that when conditions are right, life resumes. And you can rest here completely, knowing that this stillness holds you the way soil holds seeds. Patient, protected, ready for nothing, just waiting, just being held, just resting in the cycle that continues whether you understand it or not. Your eyes can close if they haven't already. Your breath is finding its own slower rhythm, isn't it? Each exhale a little longer, a little softer. The world you've left behind moves at human speed, minutes and hours, deadlines and decisions. But here, I thought we could slip into a different kind of time entirely. Time so vast it makes centuries feel like heartbeats. I thought we could rest inside the oldest story that soil can tell, the story written in stone. When you breathe the air after rain, when that earthy scent reaches you, you think of it as fresh, don't you? New. But there's something beautifully paradoxical about this freshness. What you're smelling is partly the scent of stone, so ancient it was already old when the first forests appeared. The dust on dry ground, the particles that rain releases into the air, many of them are fragments of mountains that no longer exist. Every grain of sand beneath your feet, every particle of clay. These were once part of something larger. Bedrock. Boulders. Mountain ranges that rose and fell before human beings had even begun to imagine themselves. And through processes so slow, they're almost invisible to creatures who live for decades rather than eons. That stone has been breaking down, grain by grain. The process begins with something as simple as water seeping into cracks. Stone is never truly solid. It has fissures, tiny spaces. Water finds these spaces. And when temperature drops and that water freezes, it expands. The ice pushes outward with quiet, patient force. The crack widens. And over thousands of freeze-thaw cycles, thousands of seasons, thousands of years, the crack deepens. The stone begins to fragment. Rain, even clean rain, is slightly acidic. It dissolves carbon dioxide from the air as it falls, creating a weak acid that reacts with certain minerals in stone. The stone doesn't break, it transforms. Its solid structure rearranges into forms that can be carried away by water, forms that will eventually become part of soil, part of the cycling system that supports life. Mountains wearing down, becoming hills, becoming plains, becoming particles so small they can drift in air currents. When rain falls on dust that contains these mineral fragments, when it lifts them briefly into the air as aerosols, You breathe particles that have existed longer than almost anything alive. And your body recognizes these minerals in its own way. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the phosphorus in your DNA, all of these came from weathered stone, from mountains broken down and cycled through soil and water and living things. You are built from the same minerals that make up the rocks beneath you. You are not separate from the stone. You are its continuation in a different form. You can let yourself drift into this vastness. Your sense of time can stretch out until your worries, your deadlines, your small human concerns become as brief as a raindrop falling on a boulder. They matter, yes, in the human scale where you live, but they are not the only scale, not the only kind of time. You are held in both times simultaneously, living your brief human span and also participating in cycles that have no beginning or end that you could point to, cycles that were here before you and will continue after. You are walking stone. Living geology. A temporary arrangement of minerals that weathered from mountains you will never see. You can rest in the vastness. You can let deep time hold you the way stone holds soil, steadily, without effort, simply through being what it is. Your breath is slowing. Your thoughts drifting like dust particles settling after wind. And beneath you, beneath everything, stone continues its slow transformation, unhurried, unbothered, moving through cycles. Your great-great-grandchildren's great-great-grandchildren will still not see completed. You can rest in that continuation, that patience, that ancient ongoing work that asks nothing of you except, perhaps, recognition. And you've given it that. Your breathing has changed since you first settled here, hasn't it? Deeper, slower, and in this simple rhythm, there's something worth noticing, something that connects you to the scent after rain in ways you might not have considered. The air you're breathing right at this moment is carrying things, not just oxygen and nitrogen, but particles, molecules. Traces of everything that exists in the world around you. Air is never empty. It's always carrying stories from one place to another. And after rain, it carries a particular story. The story of ground meeting sky, of what was held below rising briefly into the realm where you can sense it. When a raindrop falls toward dry ground, it's traveling fast enough that when it hits the surface, something remarkable occurs. The drop doesn't just spread and soak in. It breaks apart. Shatters, really, though at a scale too small to see. The impact creates a tiny crown of water that fragments into even smaller droplets, carrying with them whatever was resting on the surface. All of it suspended suddenly in water droplets so fine they're called aerosols, particles small enough to hang in air rather than immediately falling back to Earth. This is how scent travels. Not through the soil itself, which you cannot smell directly, but through air, which becomes the courier, the messenger. When you smell earth after rain, you're detecting molecules that were in soil moments ago, lifted by the impact of raindrops, suspended in aerosols, drifted through air currents until they happen to reach the exact small space where you're breathing. The air is not a container that holds things in place. It's a fluid, always moving, always mixing, always redistributing whatever enters it. Right here, as you rest, the air around you contains molecules that were once in mountains, in oceans, in forests, on other continents. The oxygen you're breathing was released by a plant somewhere, drifted through air until it happened to be where you're breathing. And soon you'll exhale it, transformed slightly, and it will drift again, be taken up by another plant, cycle through another organism, moving endlessly through the web of exchange that connects everything that breathes. You are breathing the same air that moved through the lungs of people who lived centuries ago. Different molecules, perhaps, but the same collection of gases cycled and recycled through living things in the atmosphere. You can rest into this sensing, this constant, quiet exchange between your body and the air that surrounds it. Nothing needs to be understood or analyzed. You can simply be another organism, breathing, receiving whatever molecules happen to drift to you, releasing whatever molecules your body no longer needs. The aerosols created by rain will settle eventually. They'll fall back to earth, return to soil, become part of the surface again. Their time of suspension is brief. But while they drift, they connect what's below to what's breathing above. They connect Earth to you. You can drift like those particles suspended in air, neither rising nor falling, just floating, just being carried. The air knows where you're going. You can trust it to hold you, to carry you softly into the quiet that's been waiting, into rest. You can feel the difference, can't you? Between the world you were moving through hours ago and this quieter space you found. But here, as your breathing slows and your body finally releases its grip on the day, you can begin to sense something that the busy world makes easy to forget. You are not as separate as you think. The scent rising from earth after rain is not happening only where you are. It's happening everywhere rain touches ground. In the garden you can see from your window. In the forest, an hour's drive from here. In places you've been and places you'll never visit. Even in landscapes you can barely imagine. Deserts where rain is rare enough to feel like miracle, tropical soils where it rains so often the earth never fully dries. All of it, all of these separate places, participating in the same quiet conversation. The bacteria producing geosmin in the soil beneath a rainforest in South America are the same species as the ones beneath the sidewalk outside your home. Streptomyces. Ancient, patient. They don't know about continents or countries. They simply do what they've been doing for hundreds of millions of years, wherever there is soil, wherever there is moisture. And when rain comes to these different soils, the scent that rises, it's recognizable everywhere. Not identical. Each place has its own particular mixture of minerals, its own collection of plants releasing their own oils. But the essential character remains. Earth, smelling like earth. Recognition crossing all the borders we've created. Beneath the surface, there are connections even more direct than shared processes. In forests, the roots of trees interweave with fungal threads that extend far beyond any single tree's reach, linking one tree to another through networks that can span acres. Through these threads, trees can pass nutrients to each other. It's a trade, but also something more. A kind of cooperation that dissolves the boundary between individual organisms. The nitrogen being cycled by bacteria in a farm field thousands of miles from you follows the same chemical pathways as the nitrogen being cycled in the potted plant on your windowsill. The water evaporating from a lake you've never seen might fall as rain on your roof next week. You are breathing air that has been everywhere, drinking water that has been everywhere, made of elements that have cycled through countless ecosystems in countless landscapes over billions of years. There are no edges to this system, no boundaries that truly separate. Only temporary concentrations, constantly redistributing, constantly moving, constantly connecting what appears separate into an unbroken web of exchange. When you smell earth after rain, you're smelling your own connection to these cycles, to the bacteria working in soil everywhere, to the stone weathering everywhere, to the water falling and rising and falling again everywhere. One scent, one recognition, happening simultaneously across the entire breathing surface of the planet. And in this moment, as your thoughts begin to drift and scatter like spores on wind, as your body sinks deeper into the support beneath you, you can rest in that belonging. That quiet participation in something so much larger than any single life, any single place, any single moment. You don't have to understand all the connections. You don't have to trace all the pathways. All of it continuing in darkness, in silence, in patterns too vast and too small for daily awareness to hold. You can simply rest in the knowing that you are held by the same systems that hold forests and fields and every small patch of earth anywhere rain falls. Breathing with the earth, connected to everything, held by the same ancient processes. Rest. The connections hold you. They always have. Your body has traveled far from where you began tonight, hasn't it? You've descended through layers, through the scent on the air, through the chemistry in soil, through bacterial time and geological patience. And somewhere in that descent, you've let go of more than you realized. Your breathing has changed, softened, found a rhythm that belongs to sleep more than waking. And the scent we've been following, it's fading, not all at once. Nothing in nature happens all at once. But gradually, inevitably, the way all things that rise must eventually settle, all things suspended must eventually return to where they came from. The aerosols that carried geosmin and plant oils and mineral traces into the air, they're falling. Slowly, drifting down on invisible air currents, landing back on leaves, on soil, on stone. The air is clearing, the scent thinning. And this is not a loss. This is simply how things move, rising and falling, releasing and returning. Nothing stays suspended forever, not aerosols in air, not thoughts in your mind, not the wakefulness you've been holding on to all day. The bacteria in the soil have already begun to slow their activity. Some will form spores again when the next dry period arrives. Some will continue their patient work at a reduced pace. They're settling back into their slower rhythms, their geological patience. The stone beneath continues its weathering, unhurried, unchanged by whether you think about it or not. So slowly that nothing you could watch would show you the change. And somehow, this slowness is deeply restful, isn't it? To know that beneath all the human rush, there are processes that simply cannot be hurried. that move at the pace they move, that will continue long after you've stopped attending to them. You don't need to hold on to any of this. The bacteria will keep working without your awareness. The stone will keep weathering without your attention. The air will keep carrying molecules from ground to sky, whether you think about it or not. All of it continues. All of it cycles. And you are part of these cycles whether you know it or not, whether you're awake or asleep. There are things about the scent after rain that we still don't fully understand. Why certain combinations of minerals and organic compounds create the particular fragrances they do. Why the smell feels both new and ancient at the same time. Some questions remain unanswered. Some processes partially mapped but not completely explained. And this is all right, more than all right. The mystery doesn't diminish the experience. If anything, it deepens it. You don't need answers to rest. You don't need to understand everything to let go. The scent is almost gone. Just a faint trace in the air, so subtle you might not even notice it. And soon even that will dissipate. But something remains, not the scent itself. Something quieter. The memory of connection, maybe. The sense that you touched something larger than yourself tonight. That you followed a simple fragrance down into depths you don't usually consider. You are made of weathered stone and bacterial transformation and air that has been breathed by countless others before you. You are temporary and ancient at once, brief and connected to processes that have no end. And right in this moment, that arrangement is ready to rest. Your thoughts have scattered like aerosols drifting on air currents. Some settling, some still floating, none of them demanding your attention anymore. Your body has become heavy, hasn't it? Sinking into whatever supports it the way rain sinks into soil, finding the spaces, filling them, settling. Just this dissolving. This fading back into the quietness that holds everything. The bacteria in soil know this quietness. They live in it. The stone knows it. The air moves through it, carrying and releasing, never grasping. And you can know it too. Sleep is close. You can feel it at the edges, not as something you're moving toward. Just something arriving when you stop resisting, stop thinking. The scent after rain has faded back into silence. And you can fade too, into rest, into darkness, into the same patient mystery that holds bacteria and stone and drifting air. Nothing needs to be finished. You can simply let go. Let the day dissolve. Let your thoughts scatter and settle. Let your body sink into the deeper rhythms. The ones that were here before you. The ones that will continue. The earth is still breathing beneath you. The cycle's still turning. And you can rest completely. Held by processes that need nothing from you. Surrounded by mystery that asks no questions, just breathing, just fading, just letting the scent and the story and the wakefulness dissolve back into silence. The bacteria continuing their work in darkness, the stone weathering grain by grain, the water moving through its long cycle. And you, part of all of it, connected, held, rest. So, the scent after rain, that smell you know so well, rising from sidewalks and garden soil and distant fields. You thought it was just rain, didn't you? water carrying freshness down from clouds. But it was waiting all along, in the dust, in the soil pores, in the spaces between clay particles. Plants releasing oils during the dry days. Bacteria producing geosmin in their patient work of transformation. Stone weathering into fragments that hold memory, all of it waiting for rain to arrive, not to create the scent, but to release what was already gathered. The same way rest doesn't create peace. It just releases what's been held. You followed that scent down tonight, through chemistry and time, through bacterial patience and geological slowness, through cycles that connect you to soil everywhere, to stone, to air, to the breathing surface of the whole earth. And in following it, you let yourself be carried, like an aerosol drifting, like water sinking through soil layers, like anything that knows how to surrender to the larger rhythms. The scent is fading now, returning to the earth that released it, and you can fade too, into the same darkness, the same patient quiet, where slow life continues, where stone keeps weathering, where water keeps cycling, where you are held by processes older and slower and more enduring than any single thought or worry or waking moment. The earth knows how to rest, and so do you. With that, I'll leave you in the quiet embrace of the night. May your thoughts feel lighter and your rest arrive with ease. Until the next quiet, why?